So something in the mail arrives and you wonder, well, what is it? Well, only one way to find out. And there's a box, and what could it be? Oh, check that out. That looks like a little drive motor for a turntable. Yep. Little DC drive motor for a turntable. This is what it's going in right here. This is a Crosley Collegiate. I've had this thing for a while now. I bought it a couple years back from an Ollie's bargain outlet for, I think it was like $59. But I attempted to disassemble the motor to lubricate it, and well, I ended up destroying it. So it's been out of commission now for the past, I don't know, probably year and a half, almost 2 years. About as long as the whole China virus pandemic has been going on. See, there's the motor right there. You see right there. The end looks a little bit different though, but it should work just fine. It's got the same depth and everything. So we're going to remove that and then we're going to replace it. Now the only downside is this motor has got this plug on it for where you would plug in the wiring harness to it. Well, sadly, on the Collegiate, the wires are just soldered in directly, so this isn't going to work. So I'm going to desolder that with the help of my Weller WTCP series and the help of this soldering vacuum, which magically appeared out of thin air right when I needed it. So talk about good timing. So I'm going to remove the solder on there and then I'll be right back with you. That was much more complicated than it needed to be, but I did manage to get it out, as you can see. So here's what we're working with. Right there's the motor. You can see the wires are just soldered in, so basically I just need to resolder those wires onto that circuit board on that motor right there, and then we should be good to go. So we'll see how that goes. Now, I can't remember which potentiometer is which, but I know one of them's for 78, the other one's for 33, and the other one's for 45. There's a couple different potentiometers on there. So I'll just have to figure out which one's which when that time comes. But the main thing is, let's get the new motor wired in, and then we'll worry about that. So I'm going to go ahead and take the motor out and desolder those wires, or desolder the wires, and then we'll start. We'll put the new motor in. Alright, and there we go. All the wires are now soldered in, and it got a little confusing with those two black wires. There's two of them, so I put a piece of tape on that one on the very end and made a kind of a little schematic right there. So anyway, we got it wired up, so the moment of truth, will it work? That's the question. Okay, moment of truth, will it work? Now, thankfully there's an auto stop bypass switch on here, and I've got it switched to off, so when I turn this on, what should happen is it should start rotating. So let's see. And there you go, it's rotating. Let's see if the speed change works. I can tell that it's changing speeds like it's supposed to. So, as far as I'm concerned, this was a success. All we gotta do now is just regulate the speed of it. Okay folks, I got it back together, so let's pop a record on here and see how it performs now. It may play too fast or too slow just because it's a brand new motor out of the box. So let's see what it does here. Let's see, 45. Okay. Well, it sounds like it's playing pretty accurate on 45. And I'm not going to play that too long because we all know the copyright police just love that. That was sarcasm. I'm going to go grab an LP right quick. I'll be right back. It's playing a little slow on 33. I'll put the stroboscope on there and I'll show you. You can see right there on the outer line it's dragging a little bit, so I'll need to speed it up just a little bit. Alright. Alright, I'm dedicating this one to Chris Cuff, our 45 player, God rest his soul. One of his videos, I think he was doing a video of an RCA Studiomatic changer, a drop-in replacement that was new old stock. He was using Campbell's soup cans to prop the turntable up for demonstration, and this is how I'm doing it to regulate the speed on the platter of the turntable, because like he said, soup is good food, soup is good turntable support. So rest in peace, Chris, you will be missed by us all. Alright, I think I've got it pretty much playing on par now, so that's good. And one thing I will bring up while I'm on the topic of Chris, he actually did a video review on this same exact record player, and he spoke highly of it, and I have to agree with him. From a brand name that's been known for very low-end products that are not really worth anything, they apparently had been listening to people because they stepped up the game with this one. Now I will say one thing, if you do plan on getting one of these, because they're actually pretty decent little units, you'll need to do a modification like I've done here on the rear. What I had to do was add a few washers and a screw the same thread size as the counterweight, because the tracking force from the factory was like 6 grams, and that's way too high for this cartridge, because as you all know, this turntable has the famous AT3600 Audio-Technica magnetic cartridge, and it's supposed to track anywhere from, I believe it was 3 to 4 grams, 4 grams being the max out, or no, actually, I believe 3.5 grams was the max tracking force, and so I have it regulated at about that, right in that area, so it's tracking nice and light like it's supposed to now. But other than that, it's a pretty nice little unit. I mean, it's got, you know, your tone control, your headphone out, and of course it does have that USB, which I haven't used. I don't know if it works or not, but this isn't a bad little turntable for what it is. So I'm just glad to have it working after nearly a year of it not playing. It's been almost 2 years actually. It's been a long time. So anyway, folks, there you have it. There's my Crosley Collegiate, freshly rebuilt with a new motor. We'll see you next time, folks.